I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
When Sean Diddy Combs' properties were raided in March of 2024, there was a lot of speculation about what might be found inside and whether it would be connected to any of his celebrity friends and acquaintances. As Homeland Security agents poured out of his mansions in LA and Miami with boxes full of electronics, there were rumors that if Combs filmed his elaborate sex performances called freak-offs or other parties, there could be video evidence of possible criminal activity. And the celebrity at the center of a lot of rumors, warranted or not, was Justin Bieber. But now, during week 1 of Combs' criminal trial, the singer has officially responded to allegations that Combs may have abused him as he was coming up in the music industry. We're going to talk about that right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
In a shocking courtroom revelation, Justin Bieber has finally broken his silence about what transpired at the infamous Diddy party. After years of remaining quiet on the matter, the pop superstar stepped forward to share his first-hand experience, shedding light on the darker side of one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. Bieber's testimony sent shockwaves through the courtroom, leaving everyone present in stunned silence. Almost immediately, social media erupted with reactions from fans, celebrities, and critics alike, all eager to hear what the star had to say.
Hey everybody, this is another Law and Crime legal alert. Lawsuits allege that antacid use has been linked to increases in stomach cancer and gastric cancer. If you or a loved one were diagnosed with stomach cancer or gastric cancer after using an antacid, you may qualify for compensation. One of our legal sponsors is partnering with the Driscoll firm, a national firm, helping those injured to ensure their claims are thoroughly presented. Visit antacidclaims.com/sidebar, scan the QR code on screen to answer less than 10 questions and check your eligibility to file a claim.
This moment marks a significant turning point in the ongoing legal battle against Diddy, who faces a slew of serious allegations ranging from trafficking to coercion. Bieber's statement is not just another piece of testimony. It carries immense weight given his close ties to Diddy and the credibility his voice brings to the case. The courtroom drama has captivated public attention for months, but with Bieber's explosive disclosures, the narrative has taken a startling and deeply personal turn.
Okay, let's talk about singer Justin Bieber. Now 31 years old, he was discovered when he was just 12, went on to become one of the most best-selling musical artists of all time, had some pretty high-profile influences like R&B superstar Usher, became Justin's mentor, controversial record executive Scooter Braun was his manager as the teen basically shot to stardom. And among his celebrity acquaintances was, of course, music titan Sean Diddy Combs.
As the case unfolds, Bieber's revelations hint at a reality far removed from the glamorous image often portrayed in the media. Behind the scenes, the parties hosted by Diddy were rife with power plays, manipulation, and environments that left many feeling trapped and vulnerable. Bieber's candid account offers a glimpse into this secret world, painting a picture of excess and control that few outsiders have ever seen. His willingness to speak out breaks the long-standing culture of silence that has surrounded the industry's most guarded secrets.
Who had been Usher's mentor in the 90s and early 2000s, and Bieber had spent some time with Combs over the years. Combs' wild party lifestyle has always been something of an open secret, with him often joking about it on daytime and late-night talk shows, but in the last year or so, very, very different. More and more allegations have started to come out against Combs that are really no laughing matter. Civil lawsuits that made rape and extortion claims, rumors that celebrities could be involved in nefarious behavior with Combs behind closed doors, even claims by one man that he had in his possession.
In this video, we will dive deep into Justin Bieber's courtroom testimony, exploring the shocking details he revealed, the impact of his words on the trial, and the broader implications for the music industry. Stay tuned as we unpack how this revelation is changing the conversation about power, exploitation, and justice in entertainment. What Justin Bieber shared is more than just a story. It's a call for transparency and accountability that could reshape the future for countless artists. The truth has finally begun to emerge, and it's a revelation that nobody saw coming. For years, rumors have swirled about Diddy's infamous parties.
Actual sex tapes featuring Combs and other celebrities. And as we know, Combs is currently on trial in the Southern District of New York on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, transportation to engage in prostitution. By the way, and as week one wraps up, check out all of our Diddy coverage on Long Crimes YouTube channel. We've been breaking down all of the latest developments. So not only do we do daily recaps with our correspondent Elizabeth Milner, who's inside the courtroom because there's no cameras there, but we've also been doing legal analysis with some of our favorite guests.
Casting a long shadow over the glitz and glamour of the entertainment world. Beneath the surface of champagne toasts and celebrity smiles, a darker narrative has gradually emerged, exposing a hidden underbelly that few dared to speak about openly. These gatherings, often described as extravagant and exclusive, have become the focus of intense scrutiny as allegations of manipulation, exploitation, and coercion have come to light. After years of remaining silent, Justin Bieber made the courageous decision to step forward and share his truth in the courtroom. The choice to testify was not an easy one. This moment marked a significant turning point, not only in the high-profile legal
breaking down the big legal issues that are happening every day in that court, so make sure to go check it out. But one of the biggest rumors that has been hanging over the entire Diddy saga was Justin Bieber a victim of his alleged predatory and inappropriate behavior? Well, I'll tell you what, now, as week one of Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial comes to a close, Justin Bieber's camp is finally responding.
Case against Diddy, but also in Bieber's personal journey. The world had long speculated about what went on behind closed doors at Diddy's infamous parties. But no one expected Bieber, one of the biggest pop stars of this generation, to break his silence and reveal the realities he had endured. The courtroom was filled with palpable tension as Bieber took the stand. Cameras focused intently, and whispers rippled through the crowd as the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. It was clear that this was not just another witness statement, it was a personal revelation from a man whose career had been
So to talk about this, I want to bring back on former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. Nima, so good to see you. Thanks so much for coming here on Sidebar. I want to talk about the timing of this statement from Justin Bieber's camp. This can't be just a coincidence.
No, it can't be, because one of the biggest questions in the Diddy trial is what other celebrities will be named, who participated in the freak-offs and who witnessed the freak-offs. I mean, Diddy's white parties are infamous, and one of the
intertwined with Diddy's empire since his teenage years. Bieber's presence brought an emotional weight that went beyond the legalities of the case. This was a young man confronting the shadows of his past and the complex power dynamics that had shaped his early career. Bieber's testimony was marked by a mixture of vulnerability and resolve. He explained how his association with Diddy began at a young age, when he was eager to rise quickly within the music industry.
victims that people have been talking about for about a year and a half now has been Justin Bieber. And now finally, after week one of trial, when we know that Don Richard is the next witness and we're going to start hearing who the government thinks is going to help corroborate their case, we are not going to hear from Justin Bieber. And it really goes back to a video when he was about 15 years old, when Combs said he was going to spend 48 hours with Justin Bieber. And that's when all the speculation began.
The mentorship he expected turned into something far darker. The star described feelings of confusion, fear, and entrapment as he witnessed parties filled with excess, secrecy, and manipulative control. Each word he spoke echoed with the personal struggle of trying to navigate an environment where power often overshadowed talent, and silence was enforced by intimidation. It was not merely a legal battle fought in...
Bieber's camp didn't say anything until now, but I think it's important that he did. And he also, like many celebrities in Hollywood, want to stay as far away from the Diddy trial as possible.
Because you think that there was talk of him testifying and he didn't, he wanted to shut that down.
I think so. I think people want to know, because look, the trial is lasting 2 months, right? 8 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks. And I know Judge Subramanian is trying to move it along as quickly as he can. But now that Cassie Ventura is wrapping up her testimony
in the halls of justice, for Bieber, it was a confrontation with his own past trauma. The courtroom scenes revealed the emotional toll these experiences had taken, his hesitation at times, the occasional cracking of his voice, and the raw honesty with which he recounted moments that shaped his worldview. Bieber's testimony illustrated the immense pressure placed on young artists like himself to conform, stay silent, and submit to a system that prioritized control over well being. Beyond recounting events, Bieber also highlighted the ongoing struggle.
We know that we're going to hear from a couple other victims, but the government needs to fill that time. And what they want to do is put on victims that really aren't in a romantic relationship and never have been with Combs, right? Cassie got impeached with some of that, the emails, the text messages, the words that she put, those words of affirmation. So to the extent that there are other victims, that's how the government's going to be able to overwhelm the defense here. And if it's a celebrity victim, even better.
To reclaim his narrative and agency, he shared how speaking out was both a form of healing and a necessary step toward justice, not just for himself, but for others who had been similarly silenced. This willingness to confront painful memories under the intense scrutiny of a courtroom demonstrated a new chapter in Bieber's life, one defined by
See, here's the thing. I think about it, and I'm sure he didn't want to. I guess the idea is, not distract from the conversation that's being had, but to make a statement towards the end of the week, after opening statements, after or towards the conclusion of Cassandra Ventura's testimony, when he makes a statement confirming that there were people harmed by Combs, does that signify to you that he believes
courage and a commitment to truth. Moreover, Bieber's appearance underscored the broader implications of the case. His testimony sent a clear message about the abuses of power entrenched within certain circles of the entertainment industry. It invited the public to consider not just the allegations against Diddy, but the systemic issues that allow such behavior to persist unchecked?
the prosecution's case, or does he think it's beyond the criminal case and based on the accusations we've seen in the civil arena?
I think it's probably the former. And like you said, the key part of that statement was denying that he was a victim, but really talking about the other victims. And it wasn't alleged victims. He said other victims, well, through his spokesperson. So I think that is very, very important.
In conclusion, Justin Bieber's decision to testify was a powerful act of bravery, marking a significant moment in the ongoing trial. The courtroom became a stage not just for legal arguments, but for a personal reckoning, highlighting the intersection of celebrity, power, and the pursuit of justice. Bieber's story resonated far beyond the courtroom walls, offering a candid glimpse into the hidden struggles faced by young stars.
This isn't a Michael Jackson type case where, celebrities are rushing to Combs' defense. Very few people are. And the fact that you have someone come out that really isn't 50 Cent or someone who, is trying to make light of it or a documentary about it and really point the finger at Diddy, that's a big deal, Jesse.
Mm-hmm. And he mentioned harmed by him, right? It was very specific language. They were genuinely harmed by him, and the shifting focus away from this reality distracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. There's no way to parse that language.
And shining a light on the urgent need for accountability in the entertainment world. Justin Bieber's testimony in court sent shockwaves through both the legal world and the entertainment industry. After years of silence, his decision to reveal what truly transpired at the infamous Diddy party marked a watershed moment in the trial. His statements not only confirmed long-standing rumors, but also exposed a disturbing...
There isn't, and the defense is obviously trying to separate physical harm from sex trafficking and sexual assault, but, the average person who's watching isn't going to be making that distinction. That may matter in the case, but it's not going to matter in the court of public opinion.
And Bieber's statement, it comes as this TikTok started floating around on Friday. There was a doctored image of Bieber where he allegedly announces that he's going to testify against Combs, but the video was quickly debunked as fake.
Hidden side of the music industry, a side marked by manipulation, abuse, and an overwhelming abuse of power. From the outset, Bieber's testimony was raw and candid. He detailed how his initial excitement about joining Diddy's circle quickly turned into a nightmare. Bieber recounted the overwhelming atmosphere of excess at the parties, lavish settings filled with celebrities, models, and mysterious figures who seemed detached from the music world.
And Nima, you think at the end of the day, are we going to see some celebrity or celebrity friends testify at this trial?
I think we have to, because there's got to be independent witnesses that, saw some of this, right? I'm not saying maybe the actual freak-offs themselves, maybe there are other participants, but Combs was very public, and
He described an environment where luxury masked control and where young artists were drawn into a web of coercion and silence. Bieber spoke about the pressure to conform to the expectations set by powerful figures like Diddy, where questioning or resisting could mean the end of a career. One of the most shocking revelations came when Bieber described the secret rooms at these parties, spaces hidden away from the public eye where activities that were both disturbing and secretive took place.
Cassie Ventura, to the extent that she was abused, look, it's like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? You got Kate Moss was brought into that case. People that are rich and famous celebrities, they have rich and famous celebrity friends, right? That's why Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, we're talking about Taylor Swift. This is a small circle here in Hollywood. So the independent witnesses are very likely going to be other celebrities. So I think we're just starting to scratch the surface when it comes to that.
He testified about people in masks, the presence of cameras, and rituals that seemed more like orchestrated events than mere celebrations. These moments painted a grim picture of the parties, transforming the image of glamorous industry events into scenes of exploitation and fear. Bieber also shed light on the contractual mechanisms used to enforce silence and control. He spoke about a confidentiality agreement he had been coerced into signing at a young age, an agreement designed not to protect privacy, but to prevent victims from speaking out. This contract, Bieber explained, was a tool of manipulation, one that ensured artists stayed silent about the abuses they witnessed or endured. The emotional weight of this revelation was palpable, as Bieber described the years he spent living in fear of